Welcome everyone to the Junk Planet. Today we are looking at the Star Wars Black Series Jar Jar Binks from the cinematic masterpiece which is The Phantom Menace. Now, I've been asking for a Jar Jar Binks 6-inch scale action figure for a long time now, because I have nothing better in my life to do apparently. And it's finally here. The Hasbro gods have adorned us with Jar Jar.
This is very, very bad. Oh!
But yeah, that said, this does look like a really cool figure. It's a deluxe style figure, so it comes with some extra accessories. He's got a shield and a spear and all that lovely stuff. He comes in a slightly bigger box, and I've heard good things about this guy. I've heard good things. So, without further ado, let's review. Okay, and here is the packaging. This is the new style of Star Wars Black Series box, and this is a deluxe figure, so it's slightly larger than average. Okay, so here it says Star Wars The Phantom Menace, and it has the yellow style of box, and I like that these new figures have different color schemes for each movie. I think that's a really cool detail, and it means that if you want to have a Phantom Menace collection, they all sort of go in nicely. So at the bottom here it says Jar Jar Binks, and on the side we have this nice artwork of Jar Jar, something I never thought I'd say. On the back we also have the same artwork again, and then we have got some info about Jar Jar. A clumsy, well-meaning Gungan outcast on Naboo, Jar Jar Binks struggled to prove his worth throughout his life.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Is that really what it says? That's so mean. Okay, so whoever made this clearly did not like Jar Jar. I mean, I don't blame them, but they just literally call him like a clumsy idiot who has no meaning in life. That's great, I love it. Well, enough talking about this packaging, let's get into the figure. Okay, and here we have the figure out of the packaging, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this. Which, I didn't think I would say. I don't particularly care about the character at all. It's Jar Jar Binks. In fact, I don't think anyone cares about him. And if you do, good for you. I'm glad you can find enjoyment in this. But yeah, Hasbro have done actually a pretty good job here. The sculpted detail is great, the articulation is really, really good, impressive. Especially for a Black Series figure, because they've been cutting corners as of late, and it's nice to see, a figure back with double jointed knees. So you can get him doing some cool yoga poses here. But yeah, it's a good figure. Let's take a closer look. Alright, let's start at the head here. So Jar Jar's eyes have been really well painted, very accurate to the film. The sculpted detail on the neck is really impressive. You can see all the wrinkles in his skin. And on the back, these look incredible. I love all the sculpted detail. It actually looks like skin, especially with the paint job they've done. Really super impressive. Why have they given Jar Jar the deluxe treatment of all the figures? But okay, whatever. I'm just happy. I'm happy to get a good figure, but I'm perplexed as to why it's Jar Jar. So yeah, moving down here, he's got his jacket, which is in the film, and on his arms, he has all these swirly patterns here, all the way down his arms, which looks incredible. And then the paint on the underarm is really good as well. Obviously, you got this joint here, which hasn't been painted, but you ain't gonna really see that. Even there's paint on the joints as well, so it doesn't look too bad. One thing I will say is this is clearly, a different type of plastic that's been used to connect his neck to his torso. So this bit looks a bit strange. The paint is just a bit off. It doesn't quite match up with the neck, but well. Same with the other arm, looks incredible. And then we move further down, his legs. Just kind of basic trousers. There isn't a lot of detail going on here, except there's some stitches on the side here, which looks really cool. That's a nice added detail. It goes all the way up his leg. And then his feet look strange. I think this is how they look in the film, but God, they are stumpy, aren't they? Look at these. And yeah, I don't like this big, what looks like a ball joint to connect them. It looks huge, and it doesn't look nice. I don't really know how else they would have done it. You get a good range of motion out of them, which I will go through in the articulation later, but in terms of aesthetically, I think it's the worst part of the figure. Okay, let's take a look at this guy's articulation. So the neck is on a ball joint at the top, like a ball socket. So you get loads of movement out of this guy, because the whole neck is a joint that goes into the torso here, and that's also on a ball socket. So you can get a lot of movement. This guy can look this far forward, this far back. The hair bits, the hair doodlies, I don't really know what you want to call these, they do get slightly in the way. But yeah, really good articulation on the head there. So, the arms come up like this. They go this far up as well. They have a single hinge in the elbow, so you can get just past 90 like so. The hands are on a small joint, so they go that far down, that far up. There's no side to side, unfortunately. The same articulation applies to the other arm. The torso is on a ball joint at the top, so you can get very good movement out of this guy. Again, this far forward, this far back, you can go back very far, which is good. In here, if you pull this down, it looks like there'd be another joint there, but no, that's just to make room for the skirt piece that he has here. Okay, and the legs go this far forward, that's very nice, they're double jointed. He can almost touch his own butt, which is awesome. And then the feet go this far up, this far down, and you get some ankle pivot as well, which is good. For accessories, Jar Jar comes with this cool looking translucent purple shield, like this energy shield thing. He comes with this energy ball wand thing. The weapons of the Gungans are bizarre, except for the trusty spear. I understand what this is. You jab him with the pointy end. Okay, in order to get Jar Jar to hold his accessories, so he comes with the spear, which comes in 2 parts in the packaging. So you can get him to hold this. So it should go in quite easily, like so. Yep, there you go. So you can get him to hold his spear. He also comes with the shield. Looks really nice. It's a really cool effect, and definitely will be displaying it with him, even though I don't really remember him having a shield in the film for that long. That was more of a Gungan warrior sort of look, but I don't care because it looks so cool. So this is simple to put in as well. Hand goes up, slot that in there, and then you just turn his arm, and voila, there he is with his shield and his spear. If I can get him to stand up, there we go. He also comes with this wand, which can be slotted in as his weapon instead. Like so. Okay, so Jar Jar comes in at around 6.5 inches tall. Okay, here are some height comparisons for Jar Jar Binks. Up first, here is Jar Jar next to the Star Wars Black Series Darth Vader. Here is Jar Jar next to the DC Multiverse McFarlane Joker. Here is Jar Jar next to the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger. Here is Jar Jar next to the SH Figuarts Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here is Jar Jar next to your average 6-inch Marvel Legends scale figure. This is the Silver Surfer without his board. And finally, here is Jar Jar next to the NECA Spyro the Dragon. Okay, and that was Jar Jar, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this guy. It's a decent figure of a not so decent character. But I'm glad that Hasbro have definitely put their time and love into this guy, even though no one else really did, nor should they ever again. But okay, I'm gonna start hating on Jar Jar. I know he has some fans out there, and to be honest, I don't hate him that bad. I think it's just the poop jokes. Kind of suck, kind of stinky. Although I do like a good poop joke. So who knows? Who knows? It's more so the slightly racist Jamaican stereotype that's going on there, but it doesn't really matter. It's Star Wars. It's full of racist stereotypes. But yeah, this is a great figure. Really well sculpted, really well painted, great articulation,
some cool accessories. I think the price tag is slightly too high for what is actually there. This is a deluxe style figure, and I don't know. Really, all it does is it just comes with that shield, which looks cool, but I don't really. When I think of Jar Jar, I don't think of him, you know, toting this giant shield and spear. I would happily have done without it. And funnily enough, they've now announced they are re-releasing this figure for the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary collection of Phantom Menace figures, which I believe there's a battle droid, Jar Jar, a new Qui-Gon Jinn, and Darth Maul. And funnily enough, those are like the same price as this, even though they aren't deluxe style figures. They just come in retro packaging, which looks cool, but I'm an opener, so I do not care for the packaging. But yeah, we'll look forward to those anyway. I will be picking up Qui-Gon Jinn just because out of the 4 figures from that wave, he is the only one that will have an updated head sculpt, because that old Qui-Gon does not look good. So there will be a review of that coming soon. But anyway, that was Jar Jar. Please like and subscribe. More reviews coming soon. I've got Moff Gideon on the way, so he will be the next review, Star Wars-wise. More Kingdom Hearts figures as well should be arriving soon. Anyway, guys, this has been The Junk Planet. I'll see you soon.